Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Top Producer webinar. Today, we're going to be going over upgrading from Top Producer Classic 8i to X and what some of the benefits are and what you can get out of it. My name is Glenn. I am one of the senior tier 2 specialists on the team, and I am joined by the amazing Heather today. And Heather, go ahead and introduce yourself too.
Hello, Glenn. Thank you. My name's Heather. I'm in the onboarding team. So if you've been a part of the onboarding or if you're interested in it, we do one-on-one Zoom meetings and we help you get set up. So whether you're 8i and you're new to X, we can help you move over, as well as we can help you move over templates, plans, or anything like that from 8i to X as well. Yeah, so if that's something you're interested in or you haven't met us yet, then we do that. We do offer other packages to do that one-on-one as well.
Absolutely. We are doing everything in our power to get everyone taken care of in the right spots. And we, as always, are looking forward to any feedback y'all have. And I just said y'all as my wife came down, so she's scratching her head at me because we all work from home now, so it's fun. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. I'm betting the first slide here will tell something different than what I went, so of course. But we do have a chat there in the bottom. It does say chat, just has a speech bubble. Go ahead and let us know any questions. Either one of us will answer you. It's support team roulette when you ask that question. You're either going to get Heather or you're going to get me, and we'll probably answer it both online in speaking and in the chat.
Absolutely.
Speaking of needing help or anything, we do have a customer care team that is very happy to help you. Have a couple of ways to get a hold of them. If you have direct instant needs, go to the bottom right-hand corner of any Top Producer software or at support.topproducer.com, and you can chat with our chat team. You can get them Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time. They are human. So right off the bat, I'm going to say we are real humans on that side. We have what we call a bot to get the initial information and to get you directed to the right place, but then you go directly to a human. Most of the time, chat is there within about a minute. So hopefully, if you have any questions, reach out to them. They're happy to help you. If you do have something that is not time critical and doesn't need to be answered right this minute, go ahead and send an email to us at support@topproducer.com. The turnaround on that is between 24 and 48 hours, but we are doing everything in our power to get that time limits, sped up a bit so that you get the answers quicker. That being said, I do recommend that if you do have a real pressing issue that you need an answer to, pop into chat. We'll get you taken care of. And let's see. So we do have a couple of things on here. Lena asks, I do need help moving everything from 8i. Lena, we'll have somebody reach out to you about that and maybe see if we can get you taken care of. Heather, could you put down the that name on a call out thing?
I sure can.
Awesome. And Jeremy, I tried using chat yesterday. Nobody was there. I waited over 30 minutes. Was it between the 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time yesterday, Jeremy? Because we had fully manned people.
Yes, it was.
Okay, I'm a little bit concerned about that. We will look to see if there was any actual issues with the chat system yesterday. I really do apologize for that. Hopefully, whatever the issue was, it was
shortly after your Zoom.
Okay. So it was shortly after we spoke. Okay, we'll look into that. Absolutely, we'll take care of that and find out what's going on. Whatever issue you're running into, I do hope that it was something you were able to resolve, and if not, we'll do what we can to help you out. But I do apologize. Normally, the whole time is 1 minute or less. Computers, what can I actually say? I've been a computer tech for way too many years. It seems that I know that sometimes they do what we tell you and sometimes they don't. Okay, I tried yesterday. Shirley is having that issue. Okay, since we're having a couple of reports of this, we'll take it up to our superiors. Okay, Heather, can you make a note of that for me?
Absolutely. Yeah, I sure
Awesome.
can.
Thanks, folks. We will make sure that this is looked into.
Got another person here that also wants help moving over the plans. So Reagan, is it Campbell Reagan? Yeah. I will go ahead and put that down as well. And yeah, it was at least 30 minutes to 15 minutes. Yeah, it shouldn't be that long for chat at all. Like I'm thinking like a minute to 2 minutes, give or take.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
actually, since we've got people asking about it, we do have right here on our pricing page our onboarding options. So I'm going to copy and paste this over before Heather can, because competition. And I did it to hosts and panelists only, so I have failed. Let me try this again.
And I might go through and test out the chat option myself as well.
Yeah, we have an option for our different levels. If you reach out to the team, request an onboarding, request a consultation, you can get that information right here at this number. And we can set you up with Heather, or I even sometimes do some of the setups. So you have a very well-versed team that can help you and get you taken care of.
Absolutely.
So let me go back.
It's fun. We get to do one-on-one. You get to, instead of just chatting, you can actually talk to us face to face. And we can really help you with all your needs and get some things moved over and show you how fun TPX can be.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go back to getting this up here. So we're going to go into a couple of things that are new in Top Producer X, and I'm going to talk about the first one on the left. I'll let Heather talk about the second one, because she is absolutely in love with this feature, and I can see why. It's a great one. But one of the first things we have is in X, we have something called our 360-degree contact view. All of you who have used 8i, you would know that if you have it, if you have a contact up, you're going to have to jump through a bunch of little tabs to get all the pertinent information you need. This specific one with Now, you actually will have all of your data right there, right in front of you. So you have the pertinent information, the phone number, the email, their websites, address, the company they work for. Everything will be right there on the screen, so you don't have to jump around. And this piece is always going to stay off on the side. This part here that we're showing here with the information will always stay available for you. And then we have more information off on the dashboard portion, and our text messaging and all the important items can be found as well off to the side. So it's easily right there for you, and it makes it quicker and easier to get the information you need. Okay, and Heather, you want to talk about Property Insights?
Absolutely. So Property Insights is just another way that you can really stay organized. That's probably one of the reasons why I like it so much, but I just think it's great because it is meant for your buyers. So not sellers, but for buyers. Now, if you're working with someone and you end up showing them like 10, 15, I don't know how many properties you end up showing a buyer. I'm sure sometimes it can be too many. But this keeps it organized, so you can put down all the properties that you've showed them that they are maybe interested in seeing, or you want to show them, but you can keep notes on whether they're interested, they're not interested. And then you can make your notes as to why they weren't interested. So that way, again, it keeps you in the know what you showed them, why they weren't interested in it. So that way, the next property you show them, you're going to make sure that you eliminate the things that they weren't interested in when you show them another property. Also from there, you just go straight from there. Okay, once you've shown them they are interested, they made an offer, then you can jump right into your transaction. So it's really laid out nicely, that it's like step by step, and kind of almost does the work for you in a sense. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is one of those great things. It's a great way to find the comparables that your clients are looking at and what they want. So you don't have to jump around, and you can actually attach them to their client or their client record. Here we go. We're going to go through how many mistakes do I make today, Heather? You're going to keep note of that? How many times I forget how to talk? She likes that. She does see, there's 2 for you right in the last 2 minutes. So we're going to go to a couple of things that are new in X. Do you want to take this first one, because I know it's another one of your favorites?
Oh, the email tracking system. Yes, because this is going to, again, keep you on top of your contacts and know, especially if you're sending important documents. So now this shows you if they've been reading their emails or not. And not only is it good in the sense that, okay, you're kind of spying on them in a sense, you don't want to say that, but you know, for example, so you say, okay, I've sent this guy 3 emails already, 4 emails, and he hasn't opened any of them. He hasn't seen them. So now reach out to him and maybe call him and say, hey, like him or her, say, hey, like I've sent you a few emails. Have you had a chance to check them out? And maybe this is your chance to find out, is the email that you have on file correct? Maybe it's going to his junk folder, or maybe he just hasn't had the time. But it gets you again involved in your contacts and kind of making sure that you're, communicating well and giving him the information they need.
Absolutely. This is one of those specific requests we've had for a long time, because people always wanted to be able to follow up and track on their emails. So now we have it. So the key is pretty simple. Green with a check mark means they've read it. Blue with an inbox means it's been delivered, nothing's happened yet. Red means that they know it's there and they just haven't read it. So this is where you can be like, why are they ignoring my emails? I wouldn't put it that way, but and then the next thing we have, how would you like to be able to add unlimited texting to your repertoire of tools in your inventory? I do have to put a disclaimer. This is for our US customers only. So for any of you who are up here in Canada with us, I'm sorry, we're working on it. I have no ETA, but we would like to see it for you. But we're going to set you up with unlimited texting and a free phone number from within the system. So you can reach out to your clients when you're in the office, sit there. And I know I call these my little fat fingers or my stubby digits. When I'm wanting to type a note, my keyboard is so much better than my phone, and I've got a larger size phone, and I get laughed at so many times for the amount of typos I make. So being able to type and text from your keyboard is going to make things easier. Plus, the huge benefit of this, the text message conversation is going to be on that contact. So you'll have the information there. Plus, the other option or advantage, this texting number is yours and yours alone. So when you tell people, I have a secondary business number, they're going to see that. And as long as they know it's coming from you, they'll be able to verify that it's not one of those spam texts that I know we all get, we look at and we roll our eyes, or a phone call. Now, here's the thing. If they text back, they will get you, it'll go into your top producer, but your main phone will also get a notification that you had a new text. And if you really need to explain to somebody that this is your number, just say to them, call me. That phone number will automatically redirect to your cell phone. You'll be able to pick it up and your clients will know, hey, this is actually the right person I'm supposed to talk to. So there you go. And that's part of the software. Again, as much as I hate to have to admit this, we are looking for it for Canada. So hopefully we'll have it for you soon, for those of you who are our Canadian customers. So
and before we go any further with the new NX, I do see a question here from Jeremy as well, and it looks like they were asking about labels that they have in 8i versus TPX, as well as it looks like Olds adding team appointments. Wasn't sure if they can add that to the calendar. So I'm wondering if that's like tasks that are added to the calendar, and depending on if you have a team that you can actually assign tasks to, and you can see that on the calendar. Maybe that's what you're referring to. However, when it does come from the labels, we do not have labels available on TPX at this time. I know it is something that they're looking into. So that is the good thing, is that 8i for that reason is still available. So you can do the labels from there.
Yes, you may hear Heather and I say the terms, it's being looked at. I want to guarantee to you, these things are actually being looked at. The only way Top Producer is going to be successful is with listening to our users, which are all of you. We have a way to implement contact with us to get information across, and I will show that in what we both enjoy is the demo portion of looking at things in Top Producer directly. And that way I can show you exactly how to get that information too.
They don't have that feedback option in 8i, do they?
No, unfortunately not. You do have to go through X for that. So there's another reason to jump into X every now and then. Lana, we also need all our letters, not just labels. Totally understood. It is one of those things, and Campbell is agreeing with it too. So I'm going
This
to,
is where we need to get everyone to sign in, go to the feedback, give a thumbs up. The more people interested in bringing over those labels and letters, the more that our development team is going to look into it and say, yeah, this needs to be added. I don't know, was it already, did they already say it was in the plan to add it, or is it still?
let's take a look. So in Top Producer X, because I just very quickly logged in because this has become a very hot topic, let's actually take care of it. So you have this button down in the bottom left called feedback. Click on it and let's see. It took me directly this time. Yay, I fixed the problem with that.
And just so you know too, like this is our development team. There's somebody that's in charge that looks at this every day. So they want to know what you guys want. So this is where you're going to put that information in. And if it's already been listed, somebody else has already jumped the gun and put in that that information that they want to see on Top Producer X. It's there, but make sure you give it the thumbs up so we have more votes.
Yeah. So as you can see, and I probably did that really quickly, so I'm going to do it again. When you're in what we call Pendo, you'll have an option. Let me go back to the dashboard. Sometimes I go too quickly, and I apologize for that, folks. Heather's supposed to tell me to slow down. Up in the top right, you've got a spot that says search. If I just type in letter and hit enter, you have right here, TPX marketing, printing letters, labels, and envelopes. Click on it. 280 people, including myself, want this in the software. I don't know why 9 people have snoozed on that. Could possibly be previous employees who are no longer here, and they just could put there. But this is where you can actually put it, and you'll see there is, and I'm scrolling fast, a lot of desire for this. So please go into the feedback, click on the thumb there. That way it goes to our developers and they sit there and go, oh, we may need to move this. The more requests for something, the higher on the roadmap it gets put, and the sooner it gets into the system. Of course, that being said, we are also working on items and doing stabilization passes on everything. If you do still have letters and templates for your labels as well in Top Producer 8i, you don't have to just tell 8i to go to the side. You can still use it. So if you have them already set up and we haven't been able to get everything organized into X yet, feel free to still use 8i for that. We have a very important decision was made, and 8i is it's not going away anytime soon. We heard the feedback on that. People still love 8i. We're having both programs. You're going to have the options of using both. Yes, it would be nice to have everything all in one. The biggest problem is Top Producer 8i is run on very old technical code, and a lot of the things we have now can't transfer over to 8i. That's why we have X. So I had a conversation with somebody today where it was like, yes, you've been an 8i user for who knows how long. Thank you. Most of the stuff you're used to, you can still do in 8i. You would have to do texting, market snapshots, and transactions through X, just because of the fact they have the latest technology and the connections. Everything else, if you want to, you can still do through 8i. So yes, we are talking about how to get into the new stuff and the interesting stuff in X, but at the same time, please know Top Producer 8i, it's not on the chopping block. It's not going away anytime soon.
So like one way that I kind of like to look at it too, like Top Producer 8i, that is that, you know, and some people, if they get comfortable with using a certain program, and I completely understand that. But if you look at the age of it, so it's almost 20 years, give or take.
Yeah, it's about 18 years old now.
So if you think about it in the terms like, do you still have the same cell phone from 20 years ago? Do you still have the same television from 20 years ago? And can you imagine sitting there like watching TV now where you have to wait for the guide to scroll through instead of you having control to do it yourself? Those are things that were around the time that Top Producer 8i was a thing. And so, you know, that's why we had to upgrade. Myself, I like the look of TPX because I like that I feel like it's really simple, smooth. It's easy. Plus it is customizable too, which you're going to see. You get to kind of do your own customizations to it where 8i didn't have that. Also, while we're on here, can we answer this question here? I think her name is Kim. Okay, so Kim, she's asking about the calendar as well. And we did get that new thing recently in Top Producer X where
Yeah.
you can toggle between, like, because you're dealing with a team. So if everyone has their own account, their own, yeah, let's go to the calendar here for a quick second.
Yep. So you'll notice up here, go ahead if you want to direct me, Heather.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm
great.
your puppet.
So let's just say, Kim, you're dealing with a team, for, like, say, adding tasks, things that need to be done, emails that need to be sent out, to-dos, any kind of appointments. You can also look at your individual team members' calendar. So this is where you get to drop down and toggle between them instead of seeing everyone's stuff all in one calendar. So that's kind of nice too. But yeah, when it just comes to, like, say, tasks over in the left-hand corner, just below calendar, so I would always make it a habit of when you come into Top Producer X, go into your calendar, go into your tasks, see what needs to be done for the day. So in your tasks here, if you have something that's due, if we do have anything anywhere.
I'm sure I have overdue stuff.
Oh, here's a task, for example. Like, you can click on this and you can move that task to one of your team members if you need somebody else to take care of it for you. I hope that's kind of where we were going, Kim, if that helped you at all. And I can also, we can send, oh, actually, you know what? I'll post some information here in this chat that'll help you with that as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Heather.
No problem.
See, this is the best part. You get two different perspectives. Heather's been with the company just slightly less than I have. So she's more the X professional, whereas I've been around for quite a while and I learned everything when 8i was the only one we had. So you're getting the best of both worlds. I love 8i. I love Top Producer X, whereas with Heather, she loves TPX and loves 8i. So you're getting the best of both worlds, but at the same time, we both noticed that there's a power in both of them. Some of the things like specific team appointments, as if setting an appointment for the whole team, that is something that we had in 8i where you could actually just add your whole team. Kim, I hate to tell you this, but you would have to do an individual appointment per team member. So that is one difficulty with what you're looking for. So hopefully that didn't just make you deflate, because it does add a couple of extra minutes. Hopefully that doesn't. Okay, yeah, I had a feeling. Hopefully, like I said, that doesn't deflate things. It will be something that we are working on getting in there. Absolutely. We want to have as much possible team effort across to make it easier for you, because some of the best teams need to have organization and stuff, and that's why they're the best teams. So again, any feedback you have on anything we mentioned, please go to our feedback button. But now the next thing, a lot of you may also have our let's try that again. A lot of you may have our market snapshot program. And if you've been around for a while, you'll remember having to go into Top Producer 8i to do the top producer side, and then topmarketer.net to do the market snapshot stuff. Now it's all in one place, right under Top Producer X. You'll find in Top Producer X, we have a snapshot location. The best part of this is you can actually see, as this thing here is showing, email opens. This one's been opened 3 times. They've clicked on it 3 times. They've inquired once, and they've viewed the report 3 times. This shows you that it's working. It helps that you can get the information. And this is actually a direct quote from Mr. George Kimball with Homes by Kimball. The easier something is to use, the more it'll be used. And because we can now completely manage market snapshot from within Top Producer X CRM, we are going to be sending a lot more snapshots. This, Mr. Kimball has been using it that way, and has found his usage of market snapshot has gone a lot higher. Plus, because of the fact that you can actually see the report statistics, you can see who's actually reading it, who's not. And you can always find out why the client isn't reading it. There might be a specific reason. Maybe it's not giving the information they really want. And then you can edit that for them and make it a more precise snapshot. So that's one of the definite benefits of X. We are able to modular design and put things into the same place. So you don't have to go in through 18 different logins to do everything you want to do. We're trying to get it all into a single sign-in. So let's see. Okay, Alan has asked, can we log into our to-dos, calls, and appointments in X? Also, is there a mobile app for X? Both Heather and I are smiling because mobile is, yay, in the hands of our testers right now. We did have a mobile version before, but it didn't shrink down properly when on the mobile devices. So we had to take it back to code and start it over again. That is probably what, number 1 or number 2 most requested thing that we've got, Heather?
I would say number 1, and number
Yeah.
1 for me too, because I'm sure I hear it every day, and just as much as you guys are waiting, we're waiting too. I mean, it'll definitely make everyone's life easier, because it's just the way that a lot of people work nowadays is on the road, and on their mobile devices. So we are patiently waiting. I think every week I come to work, I'm like, are we gonna get, are they gonna tell us this week that it's ready? So we're patiently waiting for mobile to be released. How it's going to work, it will not be an app in the sense that you don't go into your app store and download it like you would some other app like Facebook or YouTube or something like that. You're gonna, when it is available, when it's ready, we will provide everyone with the shortcut that you can add to your home screen. And then when you click on the shortcut, it will open like an app.
Yeah.
But yeah. So hopefully very, very, very soon, fingers crossed that it should be good to go. And as soon as it is ready, everyone's going to know. It'll be a big thing.
You might hear a very loud cheer coming from Vancouver,
Us.
Canada, and parts of Ontario when it goes up, because we all want this as much as you do.
Yes.
To-dos, calls, and appointments, it's better if you want to do them through X, it's better to set them up in X. A lot of that stuff doesn't translate. Again, it's because of the fact of the matter, different technology. Alan, I do not have an answer for that one. So Alan has asked, do you see listing and buyer presentations coming soon in X? I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I don't have an answer to that one. It is something that we are looking to see. We have a secondary product that we have reached out and are working with one of our partners with our head company that does something like similar to that with our smart targeting program. You could always talk to our sales team about that. They may be able to work it for you. The other advantage of smart targeting is it actually uses AI to determine who would be most beneficial from it. Mm-hmm. But for just a direct CMA or presentation, you can still create them in 8i. The only downside is because of the technology changes, you can't connect your MLS. However, you can still create them. The other little limitation is if you have a Windows 11 computer, it no longer has Internet Explorer, which is another reason why we're trying to get a lot of this stuff into X or update our editor so you can edit things within 8i. The editor we have now does only work in Internet Explorer. There is an Internet Explorer mode in Windows Edge, or Microsoft Edge, that you can enable. So these are one of the reasons why we're having to make things. Technology has changed and it does need to be updated. So long-winded answer, I don't have an answer of one coming soon. I know I just gave a lot of technical mumbo jumbo. The straight answer is I don't have an answer. I'm sorry, Alan. I wish I had a better answer than no answer. I just said the word answer way too many times, didn't I?
Let's carry on.
Yes, let's go on to the next slide. Now, follow-up is one of the main reasons people use Top Producer, because it helps you keep in contact with your sphere of influence, with your past clients, with your buyers and your sellers. Now, what if you had a way to set specific reminders for specific people? You already have your follow-up coach, which is going to pull the criteria that you've got set up. You're smirking at me because I tripped over my words again. You already have the follow-up coach, which will pull 5 people for you per day. This advantage here is you can actually go in and specifically choose a time range or a date range to speak with somebody. Now, this is definitely a demo one. So I'm going to go over here. We're going to go to my contacts and new, yay, I'm up to date. Awesome. But I haven't got any new contacts, so But if I go over to my engage contacts here, let's just say I know I'm just getting to know a few people here. Yeah, I'm just getting to know myself. We've had a long talk. You'll notice that I can do a lot of cool things like multiple ads or adding contacts, add to my sync, or send an email. If I select all and then deselect, I can also here add myself a reminder. So let's say I haven't talked to these people in close to a year. I should probably start talking to them. I'm going to set myself a reminder that if I haven't talked to anybody within 5 days, I'm
However,
going to get, hey,
I was gonna say, however, they are in your engaged tab, so I'm gonna hope that you've definitely talked to them in less than a year.
well, I know I've talked to this one here because I do talk to myself a lot, as you well know. So, but but yes, we're hoping that you guys are definitely not doing what the tech here is doing, because total failure on my part. But you'll notice here, I can set it up to remind me every 5 days. So now, because I haven't talked to any of these people in more than 5 days, they get this lovely salmon pink color telling me that it's overdue. This is something that we put in as a request from our users. Another way to remind you to follow up with the specific people. And you can do that on any of the different tabs we have here. I already have a 5-day reminder for new, did it for engaged. For future, let's say future, I may not be working with them for a bit, so let's say 120 days out. Wow. Active is 3 days as well, and I've already got this one a couple of overdue and closed. So you can add a reminder on closed, I would say 365, so that you can follow up with them and say, hey, you've been in your house for a year, how are things going? Hey, I have one that's not pink. Yay.
So also make sure though, that say if you're in your engage and you are active or whichever, and you mark it so that you reach out to them every 3 to 5 days. If you've reached out to them by text or phone call on your own texting or phone call, and you didn't make those notes in their account, it's still going to show overdue. So this just means that you have to click on their account and make those notes. Oh, hey, just spoke to Susie and they're interested in looking at a property, whatever, and then save, and then that's your follow-up. So in order for that overdue to disappear, you do have to make those notes or change something on their contact record. No contact name on all of them.
And as an example, I just put something in, last action less than a minute ago, no longer pink. So I'm only mostly bad at my follow-up.
And Glenn, I'm going to get you to answer that next question too, because that would have been like customers that would already be an 8i as well. The last one here asking from Campbell.
So if you've got any contacts here that say no contact name, if they are ones that came from Top Producer, they would say the same thing in Top Producer. Now, what can cause this is a lot of the lead providers out there, and I'm just going to say this, I don't know why it's not a required field to have a first and last name on a contact for a lead. A lot of them would sometimes come through with no name. It's also if a import is not mapped correctly, it can cause that issue. I would double check the contacts in Top Producer 8i if you have them, or even if you have them here, double check and see if there is other info. If not, I know we've already gone said we're going to look into this, but definitely check our chat down on the bottom. I'm going to click on that and it'll take a second. I'm going to actually test and see if we get somebody. So it says, hello, you're up next and connecting. So it is working properly, but yeah, if you are still having issues, reach out to them and ask them if they can do anything to help you out. But I have a feeling that it would have been from that situation as well.
They've already, haha.
Yeah,
We all, yeah, we all know each other. So that was a pretty quick response though. So I'm really curious as to why those other chats were taking that long. So we want to make sure.
yeah.
And what area, like how did you go in through the chat? Did you go in through Top Producer X, the website, or maybe was it Top Producer 8i? Like how did you go in through the chat? Just so that's something we can also make note of.
Absolutely. And because of the fact that we do have a time range of around 11 a.m. Pacific time yesterday, it'll be easier to check.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if you're still having issues with that, Campbell, double check. More than likely, it was either a lead that didn't have a name, or it was an import that had an issue. So let's go back over here. So again, quick and easy to set up those follow-up reminders. You control the time range and you control how you contact them and communicate with them. Next thing, you want to take this one, Heather?
So this is transaction management.
Yep.
So this kind of goes back to your Property Insight as well. If you're working with a buyer, you can jump right in from Property Insight into adding your transaction. Now,
I love putting her on the spot like this and just saying, hey, you want to do this?
So I do know the slight difference here, and you can jump in when I'm not giving the right information, but there is a lot more that you can choose from in the transaction management here, between the different dates, like closing date, expiration date, financial date, inspection. There's a whole list, which I don't believe this list is available in 8i. So I think it just gives you a little bit more option as well. I'm doing good, he says.
You're doing good. Yeah, so now one of the advantages is, and I know a lot of people are probably so used to the fact that in 8i you'd have to do a listing, go through the whole listing process, and then when it was time to do a close, you then had to elevate that listing to close. And for a period there, you're going to have both a listing and a closing in your Top Producer 8i until you finalize it. Now you only have to do one. You just have one transaction that starts from the moment you start it to the moment you close it. All your information will be in one place, so nothing will get lost. All of your transaction plans can flow from the moment you've signed on with that client to the moment they get their keys and move into the house. And like here, Ali Pohl, closing coordinator, has said to us, the task plans are a lot simpler in Top Producer X CRM. I started with one of the available templates and then changed it to match my process. Just like before in 8i, we had templates. We had a lot of different action plans. We called them over there. They were under your plans manager, but now we have newer ones here. And if you click on marketing on the left, and then go to your task plan manager, you can see we have transaction, contact, and lead response plan types. So if I'll click on the transaction ones, let's just take a look at this transaction template I have here. And I hope there's something on this one unlike the others. Perfect. So this one starts from day one. This is a good example for a seller. Right off the bat, you're putting the information up to the MLS, you're putting up the sign, you're doing all the different searches you have to do. And you'll notice this is a very long task, but you'll notice here, everything is following the listing date. So now let's say we want something that doesn't follow the listing date. I can add a day. And instead of planned start date, I could say agreement date. test. We'll call call to finalize the contract. So you can add that, and then you'll notice agreement date here is usually a little bit before the listing date. So it'll have everything in the right order for you, so you make sure you don't miss anything, and then you can have it flow through. And as Heather's just put in a great link to it in our chat of where you can find an actual walkthrough on this, and I do believe a couple of nice videos on how to do an actual transaction. So I've got a couple in my my test account here, a couple of opens. I don't have any closings right now, but it's pretty easy. And here's the one thing that you 8i users will love. Right here, we have an import 8i closings. Any finalized purchases, anything you've gone through and are set as closed within Top Producer 8i, you just click the import 8i closings and it will come directly into Top Producer X for you. Unfortunately, I don't have any in my test account that were from 8i, so I can't exactly show you how they'll look. But keep in mind, this is only for your closings. You can't bring any that are in progress or still in pending or anything. You do have to have it as a closed status in Top Producer, closed paid, and then it'll come over into this. The other advantage is it has a really good built-in duplicate check. So if you do click on the button today, and then you still have a few that you don't finish off until a week or 2 weeks from now, you can come back into X, click on this button, and it'll just import the newly closed ones. And adding a transaction, awesome. You anticipated my next thought. Thanks, Heather. So add transaction, we just click on the button here. You have two ways to do it. You can manually input all the information you need here, or, which is super cool, you can go from your MLS board. If you have the MLS ID of the property, you just pop it in here and it will search it out. If you know the address, you just put it in there and it'll search it for you as well. This way it pulls directly from the MLS, connects to your MLS so that any updates you make on the MLS side will also translate into the Top Producer X side. So no more having to do double work. You can do it in one place and one place only.
So I don't think I was really too familiar about the double work in 8i for that. So now I like this part even more, because who wants doubles?
Exactly. And it would actually get a little bit confusing every now and then. It does take a little bit of time to do that. Now we do have a question. How do you organize your closings so they're in order by date? They seem to be a different order right now. So that's a very, very good question. I'm not exactly 100% sure. I think the date range is going to go by the listed date, which then I'm wrong because these are all over the place.
You don't have any closings, do you?
Let's see, go back even further. Let's go back to May, see if I have anything. All right, let's go back to the beginning of time. Nope, like I said, I don't have any closings in here. That is something that is being worked on as a better organization for the dates. I was wondering if they had made any changes, because this is one of those ones that we have technicians ourselves have actually said to them, where is the order? You can do it so that it's just January 2022. I can show what I was going to go to 2023, wasn't I? I want 2021 to 2030. I want 2023, January 1st. You can do the date range. I don't have any this year. Awesome. You can do the date range like this. I'll just go back a month. I should have something from December that I put in. Yeah. So you can actually check it that way. Your listing date range is always something that you can edit and you can move around as needed. You can also do by source. So let's say you've got your lawn sign, you can see what brought in from that. So mental note, I need closings on this test account, don't I?
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Thank you. Wish I had thought of that one. That's great. These are things, this is one of the other reasons why we love doing these webinars, because you guys remind us of stuff that we didn't think about beforehand. So I can get that taken care of in my system. And I hope people get a good chuckle out of the fact that I'm sitting here going Techville. So, so yeah, the organization is a little bit to be worked on, to be determined, to be better. I know it does have that capability once again in 8i where you can just click the date range and stuff. The closest we've got right now is to adjust your date ranges here. And you will notice it is available on closing side as well. I just don't have anything. But that is another one of those things we are working on. All right, let's go over to the next one. Okay. There is similarities between X and 8i. We definitely want to bring notice to that. Some of the things that were in 8i that were amazing have just become better in Top Producer X. The first one, any of you that have been with us for a long time will seriously be super happy about the deliverability we have on email. I'm pretty sure I've probably talked to every single 8i user over the years when there's been the issue where emails just weren't going out. And it was always because we'd have to say, I do apologize. Somebody bypassed our 1,000 a day email limit, sent out 230,000 emails in one day, and we all of a sudden got blacklisted. Because of the fact that you're not going through our servers anymore, we don't have that issue. You're going through your server. You're going through your Gmail, your Office, your Outlook, your iCloud email. You're going through their email servers. It also has the advantage of it's not going to say coming from Top Producer on behalf of Heather. It's just going to say coming from Heather. So you don't have that problem anymore. It's just a straight direct through. The other one, the calendar and contact sync. Anybody who had the synchronization in the past, you may remember the old Outlook connector we had, which I was doing troubleshooting on that one more often than I was just helping it work. It was beautiful when it worked, but sometimes it would give me nightmares. And the fact that contact sync could only be Gmail or using that Outlook Connect in Office 2007 and before. Now, Gmail, Office 365, Outlook, and iCloud. You can connect directly to them. Easy. Just go in. You put the information in. We verify that it's true. We set up a connection between them where we do not know your password. I want to make sure that is definitely said out loud numerous times. We do not keep your data. We do not keep your password. It is secure. It is a token that just tells, let's say Gmail off the bat, that you have said to them, yes, Top Producer X can look at this stuff. I authorize it. We won't do anything without your authorization. We check it, you authorize it. Gmail says, okay, they've authorized it. You make a contact change in Top Producer X. It's going to show up on your phone exactly in Gmail. You make a change in Gmail. It's going to show up in your Top Producer. Any of these ones, you do it, it goes back and forth. It's just a real-time synchronization. Now, corner of my eye, I caught something. I have a feeling Heather's writing this one down, but I'm going to address it. Jonathan asks, will the income and expense tracker that 8i offers be coming to X, or would we need to switch back and forth? The straight, honest answer is that the income and expense tracker is a lower tier priority. And let me explain why I say that, because I like to actually verify why I say it. A lot of the items within the software are more mission critical and used by more of our users. We actually did do a report to see how many people were using it, and we didn't find that it was that used. So that being said, I go back to that feedback button. If you guys like the income and expense tracker, give us your feedback. Let us know you want it back in the system. For now, you would have to still jump back and forth. I don't like being the bearer of bad news, but I'm always going to give you the honest truth. It is something that I've helped a lot of people with. I do see the benefit of it. It's pretty cool the way it's laid out, but it's not mission critical. And I know that probably sounds like a excuse, because it sounds like one coming off my own tongue, but let us know. We want to know what you guys want. We want to make it better for you. We will, the more people that want it, the more chances of it being in there. So again, sorry to give bad news and be the bearer of bad tidings, but I will give it to you honest every time. I'm honest to a fault at times, I think.
I've been told that as well.
Now, this is exactly what we've been saying.
Well, we've already discussed quite a
Yes.
few times. So you have your feedback. Again, it's it's for that we can build the program, or our developers can build the program that works for you. So if you don't give your feedback, then it won't get looked into. But this is, I think it's a great, I mean, I don't know any other programs that I use that the developers are asking me on my opinion, what I would like to see on there. But so I think it's a really neat thing to suggest that. As well as right above feedback, you can also see what's new. So what's just been released, what's on its way, what's coming soon. And what would you like to add to that, Glenn? I do feel like we covered quite a bit of feedback.
Well, the one thing I love about that is this is one thing that I don't think we can beat to death on. It is one of those things where I've been in software support for years. I've worked with companies that develop software. I have never seen a company that is taking feedback as seriously as Top Producer is. I know a lot of you longtime users would probably say, yeah, we heard that before. There is a specific team that goes through the feedback and has a meeting once a week, and they're moving that around on the roadmap to make sure we get what's going in there and get the important things for you. Now, please keep in mind, changes are not going to come overnight. You're always going to see stuff that has to be fixed on the back end before you can make a front end change. That means you have to make sure your databases communicate. You have to make sure that the update on one part isn't going to break 18 parts on the other side. We all say in the tech world, find a bug, take it down, fix it up, pass it around. Instead of one bug on the wall, you got 18 more. So you have to be very diligent about those, but we are listening, we are hearing, and we do like it when we can actually show these cool things right here. Like just yesterday, we put in a number of bug fixes and improvements. This stuff may be stuff that you don't see. It's behind the scenes. We got mobile support showing up there. Yay!
Coming soon.
Yes, and lots more. Yes, there's always going to say lots more, but that's just, to keep everybody going rah, rah, rah.
Another really neat thing that I like too, and especially so when we come out with new features, there is going to be like new little buttons that you'll see right beside this new feature that comes available. It'll say new. So you're going to know that it's new. Not only that, it'll give you like a little blurb on, well, it's new, but how do I use it? So it'll show you how to use it. And we also have, I don't know if this is in ADI, but in some of our areas we'll have like right beside one of the things to do, little like question marks. So I think transaction actually might even be one of them. Yeah, so you'll see these little question marks, it's a little circle with a little question mark inside it. And if you click right there, again, it'll show you, hey, what is this page? What does it do? What do I do on here? So again, if you don't get the one-on-one with us and we don't show you, or you can't get to the webinars, we have all kinds of resources available for you to find out this information.
Yeah. Again, you use this software day in and day out. You use it to run your business. We need it to be easier for you to use. That's what a lot of the changes have been. It's quality of life improvements to make things better. But it may look sometimes that no changes have happened. A lot of times updates are going on to the infrastructure in the back end to make sure that everything moves smoothly and seamlessly in the front end. So our team is always working on this. We're doing everything to make your system the best system possible. So please use that feedback. We honestly want your opinion. We want to know what you're using it for, what you need to use it for, and what you think will make it the, as much as I hate to use the term, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. It just does not sound right coming from me when I say GOAT. Just no, I'm not going to use that again, but please let us know. Now, this one is a very, very frequently asked set of questions. Now, I know we've already gone over number 3. What's in X that's, or what's not in X that's in 8i? Income expense tracker and printable media. They're coming, but you still can use it. I know I'm going in reverse order here today, Heather. Don't mind me. Do I have to stop using Top Producer Classic 8i? No, absolutely not. Negative. Yet. 9. None. How many different ways can I say no to that one?
I mean, it's really optional. It's up to you. If you prefer using 2 platforms and jumping back and forth, but that works for you and you're happy with that, by all means, keep doing that. If you are looking to make it a little bit more simpler and stick with the one, you don't have to use 8i. So again, it's optional. You can go back and forth. It is easy to jump back and forth between the 2 as well. And again, like if you're really like, I need to print my labels, you can go back to 8i to do that. Is there any cost to upgrade? Absolutely not. There's no cost. You can use both at no extra cost. You can use just one or the other. You're still paying what you're paying as a customer. And then what's not in Top Producer X, that's in, and that's what we said was the printable media and the income tracker. But actually, I know we're coming to an end here. We got to get going pretty soon, but also we didn't cover this, and maybe if we could just throw this little extra tad bit in, because I do really like it. It's where the customizable tabs are that you do have in Top Producer X that you don't have in 8i. I like this too because it's quick. Like people are like, okay, well, I get this a lot. Well, I see all my contacts in Future. There's like over 1,000. How am I supposed to know? Like, how do I go through this easy instead of having to go through all of them? Again, just like you would also in Top Producer 8i is using your types. So a really, really quick and easy way to search by types. Also, I did notice a difference too, is that in 8i and X or 8i, you're looking at one screen and then you click on something, then all of a sudden you're on another screen. So this has a totally different look, which I love. But let's just say, for example, you're looking at one of your types here. What do we have? Vendor. Let's just click on vendor. So you know what? I like this type. I clicked on it. It's going to show me all my vendors. But let me just say, for example, vendor is I'm just using an example. This is my favorite type. I want to go here all the time. I can create a little tab up here at the top and call it vendor, put all my vendor contacts under there, and just have that quick access to get to them. You can't create your own tabs like this in 8i. So I think this is pretty cool. And you can also interchange them and move them around to have them in the order that you want them.
Now, since Heather absolutely loves going to her vendors and they're her favorite people in the world, all 25 of them, we can actually set that at the very front. And here's the other thing that you can do. It is similar in 8i. You can set certain things as default, but not as well. But I can set it so the vendor tab is the default one. So if I were to log out and log back in, it'll go here. But let's say all of a sudden vendors are not your favorite people. You can click on it, drag it down, and delete. Now, all this does is deletes that tab. It doesn't delete the vendors. It doesn't delete the contact type. It's just that tab. And then if you need to reset how things are, just go ahead and reset tabs to default. All the tab options are right up here. So a couple of questions we have in here. Alan, what is the help phone number again? The help phone number is, I know that for the many years, Top Producer's phone support was touted as one of the best. We did have a period there where we were overloaded and people were on hold way too long, and we went to the chat method. This is being re-evaluated because we kind of miss the old one-to-one and being able to talk. Hey, as somebody who's been here 6 years as a technician and a senior tech, I kind of miss the phone calls too. It's where we get to build our relationship with you. Keep in mind, chat is still a way to communicate with our team. It is real people, and those of us who have been here for a long time, and even our new people, our goal is to help you as quickly and most efficiently as possible. It's hard to be as personable on chat, but we do try.
And if we can't answer your question in chat, we will make sure we give you a call back so we can get this fixed. Just because you think we can't answer your question there, we won't just leave you hanging. So we're definitely here to help you for that.
Yeah, we have, luckily, we have a very low turnover rate here in our support team. On my specific team, the person who has the least tenure is 4 years. So we keep people. We've got one guy on our team that's 22 years with the company. We are looking to get that back. We are looking to get it organized, and we're looking to get it worked and taken care of. I do see that there is issues with it. It's not always going to be the perfect communication medium. I do see, like Robert says, he really dislikes the darn chat. Lots of wasted time attempting to communicate. That's feedback we'll take to our trainers to make sure that everybody is finding ways to ask the proper questions of you to get the right answer to you faster. Again, it's all about the feedback. It's one of the reasons why we do have a feedback button within the software and do webinars like this, where we can actually have face-to-face time with you.
I prefer face-to-face time versus phone, but.
Yeah, Heather is, she's been part of our onboarding team. She will normally do Zoom webinars and Zoom setups with people. So she would be on Zoom with you. So you'd see her smiling face, which we actually call her Smiley because she's always smiling. Nothing gets her down. So she's a good one to have.
Not much, no. But I get it too. Like sometimes I know for myself, when it comes to chat, I'm not a fan of going to websites that it is the robot, like right away, as soon as you ask that question, and it's just like pop up after pop up and you're not getting answered. We are real people, so that does help. Like I said, we will call you back, but I think it's kind of neat too, that you can still be doing other things and then have a chat go on.
Yeah.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
So what else we got here?
So a guidebook or something, Christopher asked, I had to step away for a few minutes, so sorry if someone else already asked this. Is there a guidebook per se for TPX?
Can we show where you're logged into TPX?
Let me just close out this and we'll go over here.
Okay, and oh, sorry.
No worries. Let me get this back to where it was.
Christopher, if you're logged into Top Producer X, everyone else who's listening, in your top right corner, where your picture will be, you'll see a little drop down toggle. You can click on there, and the third one down, it's support site. So when you go to support site, it has everything. We have video library, how-to guides, getting started. The chat is also down there available for you. If you just want to like, oh, how do I do this? And having this, you can just type it in this bar here, how to send an email. It'll give you step-by-steps on how to do that. You can also sign up for more free webinars right up here at the top of the page as well. So you're never going to be lost. We got you. We have all kinds of information.
And one of the things is when you do type in that search criteria, it will bring up for Top Producer X and Top Producer 8i. If you go back here, you can find specifics for the different programs. So X, I don't know why we don't have 8i listed on here anymore, but you can still get there. Getting started is a really good spot to go. This will give you a quick start guide to Top Producer X, and we do have a quick walkthrough here. And again, webinar schedule. We thank you for showing up today for this one. If you want to see how to get started with TPX, you can always come over on Tuesday. You'll have me and Heather hosting again. Next, I feel like I'm advertising my own shows. I'm sorry, but we'll be here to help you out and we'll be able to assist you. Again, on the feedback side, Robert, I'm going to say this to you and probably everybody else. Click on the feedback and tell us you want phone support back. The top leadership on the team is looking for that feedback right now.
And
The
it
more
has
people-
also been discussed about the possibility of bringing it back or bringing it back soon.
Yeah.
Or even having the option to do both phone and chat. So I mean, it's not off the table at all by any means.
Absolutely.
Just chat was a much quicker way of communicating, which we would rather get you the help and the answers that you need right away versus waiting longer. So
Yeah, when you end up having a time period where people are hanging out on hold for up to 8 hours and then giving up, there's a problem. So we did what we could to get the quickest answers to you. But it doesn't mean that when a business makes one change, they don't have the ability to make other changes in the future. What end of the day, whatever makes the most sense financially for both you and us, and the most sense for peace of mind for both sides. So it's on the table, it's being looked at, but the more feedback we can give to our superiors about it, the better.
and you can also just come in here on our live chats and our webinars and chat with us in here as well.
Exactly. So a couple of things that'll help out, because I know we're just a couple of minutes over the 1 hour, because Heather and I both like to talk and we're passionate about what we're doing. Top Producer support site. We call it our campus at support.topproducer.com, or from how Heather explained to do it in the system. Again, the webinar schedule and recordings are up there in the top. We have a blog, which is where you're going to see a lot of the most up-to-date postings about new items. So topproducer.com/blog. We do have a YouTube page, which we need to update all the programs from this week and update them to it, but you'll see the latest videos on youtube.com/topproducersoftware. And finally, we do have a Facebook user group, facebook.com/group/topproducersoftware. So any questions, you can actually go through any of those as well, or view them. Like the blog will give you the information, Top Producer, YouTube will give you your videos that you need, and the user group, we can answer questions there as well. Again, though, the quickest and most efficient way, under normal circumstances, where apparently there was a blip yesterday, so we'll investigate that. But under normal circumstances, the chat now button in the bottom right will get you to our team 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday to Friday. Or an email at support@topproducer.com. That should be answered within 24, maximum 48 hours. So critical, mission critical, or stopping, or what's the word I'm looking for here? Productivity stopping questions, go to our chat. Something that is just I wonder if this would work and it's not super mission critical, go over to our email. So we're just, like I say, we're a little bit over time.
And I don't know if they're still in here. Lana and Campbell, we will reach out to you. I know you were interested in that extra one-on-one and moving some information over. And again, if anyone else is, we do have that. You can get that information on our website as well for the it's onboarding.
Yeah.
So a lot of people really like it.
And again, you get to have one-on-one time. You get to.
I really like it. It's my job.
Yes, and we've got a lot of great feedback from folks that have used it. It does help demystify things. It does make life easier. And end of the day, we are making a software for you to make your lives easier. And it's actually a compliment to us if you get to spend less time in the software and more time working with your clients, because end of the day, that's what you're there to do. So if there aren't any other questions, we will get you back to your regular scheduled day. I know it's cool to hang out with me and Heather, but I'm sure you've got to talk to you too. So if we have no further questions about this topic today, we will let you just get back to it.
And have a wonderful weekend. I know here I'm covered in snow. It's snowing and blowing and it's cold. So, I'm having a fondue tomorrow with the girls. So that's what I'm doing to stay warm. It's all right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us.
You bet. Everybody have a great weekend. Take care. And if you're under the snow somewhere, fondue sounds good.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye for now, everyone.